Oh, I'm so sick just thinking about it. I saw my mom at the kitchen table staring right the back at me. She was staring at me and shaking her head. She was staring at me and shaking her head. She turns the kitchen light on and she hits me with a, "Where the have you been?" God damn! I just wanted to die in that moment. I just wanted to die. I knew that my life was over. I'm finna start crying right now because I just remembered. I remember, y'all. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Mister Laylow, and I'm here to tell y'all about the first and last time I ever snuck out of the house because I got caught. I'll never forget the day. It was junior year. I was 17, young, wild, and free. I had a huge crush on this girl, but she was dating the jock of my school at the time. And I wasn't lame, but let's just say I was more of the funny guy. You know, the one that girls would usually befriend instead of beat. Anyway, the odds were on some straight catness that night because they were forever in my favor. Let me give this girl a name because it's gonna just be easier if everyone has a name. So my crush's name was Mia, for lack of better names. And let's give the jock's name Victor. He won't be too relevant, but we need to name him. So boom bam, now that everyone has a name, back to the night at hand. Me and I have always been cool, since freshman year. But like I said, I was the funny guy. So for her to think of me as her knight in shining armor, yeah, no. Anyway, like I said, we were cool. Like, she would laugh at my jokes in class. We would eat lunch together, chill out with a group of people, not just each other. Okay, like I said, guys, our friendship was very, very mild. And sometimes we would text about football or basketball games or even homework. But never in a million years would I have thought that she would hit me up, basically telling me to come rearrange her internal organs. I just never would have thought it, bro. I swear to God. So picture this. It's like 6:30. She hits me up and she says, I'll never forget this text message because this is the one that started it all. She says, do you have the homework for today? Now, why is that so important? Because that was her first text. And I need y'all to remember her first text, so when I tell y'all her last text, you'll see how completely different they are. But oh my God, it was wild. I go, yeah, we're cool. So I send her the picture of the homework that I already done. Yeah, it has the answers on it, but who cares? It's something slight. She would have done it for me too. That I'm not even worried about. She hits me back and says, thanks. Want to come over? I have a problem that Victor usually solves, but he thinks going pro is more important. Which, thinking about it now, she was kind of wild for saying is more important than pro. I mean, I'm just saying we got to think about the big picture, shorty. I make it, you make it. We make it. Then I can you in our fat ass mansion. It's a win-win, baby. Hashtag all about timing. Back to the story. When I first saw the message, I was like, there's no way she's asking me to come over and do what I think she's asking me to come over and do. So I replied, not gonna lie, it sounds like you want me to lay some pipes. With the laughing emoji and all, because I just knew she wasn't asking me that, you know? Like me and Mia, yeah, if I'm alone in my room, sure. Me and me all night if I want. Not even 2 seconds later, she texts back with 2 simple words. She kept it so short, so sweet, but it said so much. She texts back and said, I do. What? I didn't know whether to be geeked or play it cool. I decided to play it cool, and I said something real smooth. I said, I can do that. Now, remember at the very beginning when I said it was raining and thundering? Yeah, well, this is where that comes into play. See, my mom was one of those parents where she didn't believe that kids should drive in unfavorable weather, such as rain. I'm older now, so I get it, but back then, she was really blowing me. But I wasn't going to hit Mia back and say, oh, sorry, my mom said I can't go. Instead of that, I said, let me get some things together. Then around 11 o'clock, I'm all yours. You think you can wait for daddy? Mind you, by this time in the messages, it's about 7 p.m. So I have about 3 to 4 hours to get my mom sleep, showered, and out the house without being noticed or missed. Now, my master plan was something Ooh, I thought I was so on point, and I used the word thought, as we all know, because I got caught. My master plan included a lot of secrecy and use of past knowledge about my target, aka my mom. I knew from my childhood that my mom loved to watch movies, but because she was so happy, she would become mad relaxed. And y'all know, happiness plus mad relax equals sleep. So I say, okay, what's a good movie to bust out that will have my mom entertained, but not too entertained to stay up? This one was hard, but I went with a fun-loving movie. Yep, you guessed it. Paul Blart Mall Cop. My thinking here is, can't go wrong with Kevin James. Like, let's be honest. And not only that, but Paul Blart has a 1 and a 2, which is what I smell is extended banging time. Okay, so I pick out my outfit, and we'll talk about that later, because, man, that was hard as So I thought it would be smart to shower first, have my clothes already laid out, but put on some fresh PJs. So I'm not smelling, right? And have the shower already out the way. So once my mom is asleep, I'm out the door. Boom, bam. So I finish my shower. I got my clothes laid out. I go across the hall and I knock on my mom's door. I go, hey, Mom, I finished my homework earlier. You want to pop in a movie, maybe eat some popcorn? Now, mind you, I was really pushing things now. Because not only am I trying to put her to sleep with a movie, but I'm trying to fill her up with grease and butter so it knocks her out faster. That's called the itis, people. That's called the itis. So, of course, my mom being my mom, she's like, sure, baby, come on in. Let's watch this movie. That's not how my mom sounds at all, but I just thought it would be hilarious to say it like that. Next, fast forward. Now it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I see my mom dozing off, okay? I'm like, this is perfect. In about 10 to 15 minutes, she'll be completely asleep, and that is when I'm going to make my move out the door. So half of my mind is telling me I should stay there and wait until my mom is completely asleep. But I don't know what it was. I think I just got real cocky that day because I didn't wait. I said, F it. I already know that she's going to be asleep. Why am I waiting? Why am I staying? So I dodged that, went to my room, got dressed, put on my cologne, smelling good. Now let's talk about how hard it was to find some clothes. Go. My mind was in an uproar. I could not decide what I was going to wear. I didn't know if I should wear jeans, if I should wear pajamas, if I should wear a suit. I wasn't sure. This is Mia. Mia. My crush Mia. And now to her, maybe, possibly, I had the potential to be a better bone than Victor. You think I wasn't going to take that opportunity and look damn good while I do it? I want her to remember me. Which, of course, she wasn't going to forget. But I want her to remember me in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So everything had to be on point. I had to smell good. I had to look good. And I had to be good. All right? So I ended up wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Now, I decided on this because it was between wearing pajamas and a suit. And I said that this is going to be the middle ground to where I look like we could get in the bed, but we can also go out, baby girl. It's really whatever you want to do. It's 11 p.m. We're not going anywhere but in those sheets. But I had to make it look like, the choice is yours, I'm dressed. It's about 10:45. Everything's good. I haven't heard a sound from my mom, just Paul Blart playing in the background. Everything seems ace of spades. Now, I was going to check on my mom before I left, but I said I could possibly wake her up by opening the door again. I already had to wake her up a little bit by opening it to leave. Now, mind you, I knew she was still some type of sleep because when I left, waking her up a little bit didn't wake her up all the way because she didn't wonder where I was. She didn't question about my whereabouts. She didn't call my name. She clearly was still asleep. So I didn't want to risk it again by going in there and opening the door for a full third time. Here we go. I creep out my garage door. Now, mind you, to get to my garage, you have to go through the kitchen. That's going to play a very important role because this is the same route that I'm taking to leave. Is the same route I used to get back in. I'm just rethinking about all these things, and it's so many things that I wish I did differently because maybe I would have never got caught any the way. I go out my garage, and we have a side door to where you don't even have to open the garage to get to the front. You can literally go out the side door and go out that door and get to the cars in the driveway. That's what I use. I get in my car, but before I leave, I text her, OTW, Daddy.
Wow.
I was being so smooth, so on it. It was ridiculous. The amount of Riz that was oozing from me, oh my God. My own aura was affecting me. It was crazy. It was so strong. So I get to her house. Everything's fine. Like I told you, I left fine. I got there fine. Everything was amazing. We did what the we had to do a few times. Thank you. Then I left. Everything was great. I headed back home. I started playing my music all loud. I felt like the man. By the time I got home, it was around 1:30, 2 a.m. Y'all remember that, because you're gonna be like, what the happened? Why wasn't she still asleep? I pull in the driveway. I make sure I turn my headlights off a block down because I don't even want them to shine in the house in any type of way, form, or fashion. I damn near wanted to turn my car off and just push it in neutral into the driveway about a block away. But I said that'll be too much. I might mess up something that I don't know about, okay? So I did it. I pull in the driveway. Everything's good. Lights are off. Everything's perfect. I go to the side door, the same door I left out of, and go into the garage. I walk into the garage door, and at this point, I feel like I'm the man because I don't see any lights on. I don't hear anybody moving. At this point, I made it out, and technically, I made it back in. Boy, was I wrong. I walk into the kitchen from the garage door. I'm looking at my hands because I just feel like my face is melting. And I'm just replaying all the good moments that I just had. All the good stuff that I just did. And then I see my mom. Oh, I'm so sick just thinking about it. I saw my mom at the kitchen table staring right the fuck back at me. She was staring at me and shaking her head. She was staring at me and shaking her head. She turns the kitchen light on and she hits me with a, "Where the have you been?" God damn! I just wanted to die in that moment. I just wanted to die. I knew that my life was over. I'm finna start crying right now because I just remembered. I remember it, y'all. I said she finna take all my She finna take the car. I ain't never gonna be able to see me again. I can't even text her now. I can't even text her. My whole life was over. It was flashing like that in front of my eyes. I tried to lie. Party people, I know you're probably like, Mr. Laylow, that was the dumbest you could have ever did. But I tried it. I had to try something. I was 17. I was young. I was wild. I was free. So I lied. She asked me where I was, and I said I just went to get some gas so I wouldn't be late for school tomorrow. I said I already anticipated me waking up late, so I wanted to get some gas tonight, so that way, in case that did happen, I would be covered for tomorrow. Now, in my 17-year-old head, that sounded amazing. I sounded like I had her. There should be no problems. My problem was I didn't know how long she had been sitting there. My mom told me she came down here at 11:30 and had been sitting in the kitchen since 11:30. 11:30, y'all. She had been in there from 1:30, almost 2, to 11. From I can't even talk. I can't even fucking talk. She has been sitting there since 11:30 to almost 2 in the morning. So she knew that there was no way that I just went to go gas. Even if that was a part of it, there was no way that I went to just go get gas. There was no fucking way. So she said, if you were any type of brown, if you were any type of POC, then you may have heard this phrase before. She told me to do something that I never wanted to do in the first place. Okay, Mom, I was just caught between a rock and a hard place. She told me to do something that, of course, I wasn't going to do. I don't even know why parents say this. But she told me, she said, lie again. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Y'all, my head was just as low as it is now. I damn near wanted to crouch down and just put it in my lap. I just wanted to lay my head low, hang it low. Y'all, of course, I ended up having to tell her. I went to go meet a young lady, and we were hanging out. No, of course, I didn't tell her what we did. But, of course, I told her, yes, it was a young lady, and that's where I was. I ended up being grounded for 2 months. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I had a job. Thankfully, my job understood that I was a kid, and it was still what my parents say goes. So they were like, okay, you're grounded, so we're not going to fire you. But when you get off of your punishment, you can come back to work. You still have your job. I was thankful for that because they could have fired me. That's like 60 days that I'm not going to be there. Like, what the fuck? That's an extended leave if I've ever seen one. But I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go to football games. I couldn't text anybody. She literally had my phone, and she did the most ghetto thing ever, party people. She bought me a track phone. Yeah, you know the ones with minutes? Yeah. She had me have one of those. I had a flip phone just in case any emergencies came up. I could still call her or 911. So yeah, party people, that's how I snuck out the house and got caught, okay? Now, do I regret it? No, I surely don't, okay? Because to this day, me and Mia are still great friends, and occasionally we do benefit each other. But I do regret getting caught. I will say that. I do regret that there was many opportunities in that story where I could have changed things. I could have did things for the better, but I didn't. I thought I was smooth, cool. I thought I was that guy. I thought I didn't have to worry about anything. I thought I had everything well thought out and well on point. And mind you, now that I think about it at a later age, the plan wasn't half bad. It was just, like I said, a few things that I could have corrected to make it go smooth sailing. But yeah, party people, do I recommend sneaking out? No. Especially if you got a mom like me. Just don't even try it. It ain't even worth it. Get your cheeks during the day. That's all I'm going to say. Get your cheeks during the day. But yeah, party people, thank you so much for being here with me. As always, it's your boy, Mister Laylow, and this has been Storytime with Mister Laylow. I got many more of these coming, so make sure you stay tuned. And remember, it's been a...